One of the best all-around basketball players in Utah State history, Tai Wesley, was the Western Athletic Conference Player of the Year and an Associated Press Honorable Mention All-American as a senior in 2011. He was a first-team all-WAC player twice and 3 times made the WAC all-tournament team, leading the Aggies to 4 straight regular season WAC titles, 3 straight NCAA tournaments, and 1 appearance in the NIT. He is the only player in school history with more than 1,700 points, 850 rebounds, and 350 assists.
When I got the call to be inducted in the Hall of Fame, that was, I actually remember exactly where I was. I was at Gold's Gym playing racquetball with the old guys, and you know, I almost dropped the phone. It was, I know my mouth, my jaw hit the ground. It's just something that you don't expect, something that you dream of, and so it's a dream coming true. The transition for me out of high school to college, it was tough at first. You know, the level of athletes, it was just so much faster. The pace was a lot quicker. And I think my biggest thing was to slow the game down, especially when I got the ball in the post. So that helped me catch up to the level. And the other hardest thing was coming off a mission, not playing basketball for 2 years was so difficult to just go from doing no athletics to jumping into a Division I level was definitely a big learning curve for me. Playing for Stu is a different experience, and it's not for everybody, and that's just the honest truth. For me, it was the perfect fit. You know, Stu, I look at Stu as a father figure, and he ran his household like my father ran his household. So it was an easy fit for me. But if you weren't jumping through his hoops, if you were trying to stand out and go against the grain, you weren't going to last very long. Being chosen the most inspirational player on the team 2 years in a row, I think that comes from just trying to bring the emotion. I felt like I was a very emotional player. I'd wear my heart on my sleeve. It got me in trouble at times throughout my career, but I would just feed off of the crowd and off of the energy, and as I ran down the channel, I would chant. Before the game in our huddle, I'd say, you know, I'd have this saying that we must protect this house, and everyone would join in on house. And, you know, I just loved it, and it was so easy for me to be comfortable in my skin here at Utah State with the herd and with everything, you know. So it was an honor to be named that from my teammates because I loved the energy that we brought. Man, looking back over 100 games, trying to highlight a few, I think one of the ones that stands out a lot was in Nevada, WAC tournament my sophomore year. I remember end of the game, there was probably 40 seconds left. I lean over to Gary Wilkinson and I say, "Gary, we got him." And that was a team that they were very talented, that Nevada team, and we had to beat them on their home court in the WAC tournament. And then we were able to celebrate, you know, and go and have a great time. But that game was just so special because they were tough, and it was on their home court, which was a tough thing to do, win in Reno, and then celebrate a WAC Tournament Championship. Beating BYU at home was a good one for me. That one was special because BYU passed on me in high school. A couple other special ones for me. Beating St. Mary's in St. Mary's my senior year was a really fun experience. They're small gym, loud. It's a bracket buster game. We're both ranked teams, and anytime you can get a ranked win on their home court, it was so big for us. I remember I had a good second half that game. That one sticks out as well. I think the biggest thing that I took from playing for Coach Morrill into my professional career was just that toughness, that gritty, tough, not back down to anybody mentality that Stu drilled in me. I mean, we had wars at practice. I remember having wars and broken noses multiple times in practice here in Logan, and so that's something that I would take with me, is that I would try to bring the war, bring that fight in any situation, any team I went to, any games. That's what I think I would took from Stu. In my span of 4 years at Utah State, playing basketball. We were able to do something that was remarkable, and when you're in the middle of it, you don't realize that you're doing something special. But we sold out every game. We won more than any other four-year team has ever won in the history of Utah State basketball. And it's something that I'm so proud of. I'm so proud of that. But it just, when you're in it, you don't realize it. You just understand that it's every day. You're just having fun with your friends. And I think that's what also led to our successes. We truly liked each other. I still have a bond with my brothers at Utah State that will be a bond for life. And I think that's why we were able to win so many games and do so many things. And I think it was a perfect storm. I think we had the best coach for us in Stu Morrill. The assistant coaches, the crowd, I think we had the right crowd. We had Wild Bill. We had Matt Sonnenberg, who was Fafner, who put together the refraction. It was just this perfect storm. And it's something that'll live in my mind forever. And the people who experience it, they still come up to me and say, hey, I was there your years. Your years were different. And it's something that I know I take so much pride in, and not just me, because it's the 5 guys on the court and the 8 guys on the bench and the 5 coaches and the 10,000 fans and this valley of Cache Valley who really embraced our team and every team really, and this university. It's the president, it's the athletic director. I mean, we had the perfect storm that was just right, and those are days that are just, I hope they go down forever as the best, because it was special.